Today I'm going to be talking about my favorite movie of 2021, that being Spider-Man No Way Home, as it is obvious that I love this movie. I saw this in theaters a few months ago with my friends, and it was a great memory. And I have a lot to say about this movie. I was really anticipating to review this movie. By the way, this is spoilers. Obviously, you can't talk about this movie without spoilers. Duh. So, if you saw Far From Home, you know Peter gets framed for murder of Mysterio, even though the drones killed him. And that's where the story leads off. Peter is now under protection, or by his aunt and friends, of course, but, he's now getting questioned by the FBI and cops, and it's just, he's really struggling. And this really affects him when he can't even go to college with his friends because they know he's Spider-Man, because the whole world knows he's Spider-Man, and they think he did it, even though he gets proven not guilty, but the community still doesn't like him. And so he decides to go to Doctor Strange to have everyone forget Peter Parker's Spider-Man. And he messes up the spell because he's being Spider-Man. And it causes a grift, and we get to see some awesome character returns from the other movies, that being Otto Octavius, Alfred Molina as him, of course, Green Goblin, and Willem Dafoe as him, of course, and we get to see Sandman, Lizard, Electro, and it was super awesome. I just love these actors. It's just amazing that they were able to do this movie after years later, after they were in their original movies, and they kill it at these roles. They killed it at these roles. They did really well, is what I meant. And I really felt the intimidation of these characters. You really felt they were villains, and it was just really great stuff. This is some of the best Spider-Man I've ever seen. Peter actually goes through change. He actually faces responsibility. Not saying he didn't face responsibility before, of course he did, but in this, you really feel he's struggling with responsibility, because later, because of his actions of bringing all these villains accidentally, it causes consequences, that being when fighting Green Goblin after Norman goes crazy because of the Goblin stuff. After he then kills Aunt May, and I thought Aunt May wasn't gonna die. I was just no, she's not gonna die, but oh no, she did. And it was just it was sad. You felt Peter's emotions. He was really devastated because he just caused his aunt's death. And but then you can't talk about this movie without talking about the Free Spider-Man. We got to see Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield, and oh my god, my jaw just dropped when I saw them. When I saw that portal open, when Ned opened the portal, I was just oh my gosh. And then when Andrew took off the mask, I just love the moment where he's just no, I'm a nice guy. And when he took off that mask, I'm just oh. And my friend beside me was just smiling the whole time. We were really happy we got to see this happen. And then another portal opens, and it's Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. And oh man, this is a love letter to the movies. If you really love the older Spider-Man movies, you're gonna love this movie, of course. And it's just and then they all team up, they find the cures to cure all the villains, and then and Doctor Strange sends all of them home, and and Doctor Strange recasts a spell, and has everyone forget Peter's ever Spider-Man. And it felt emotional when Peter got the last moment to hug MJ and Ned, just one last moment before they forget who Peter is. and Peter was about to tell who he was and explain everything, but he's just like, nah. I didn't know why, but it made sense in my opinion. It just did. And yeah, he also finally makes his own suit. Well, he technically did when we see him in Civil War, but we actually see a full-on Spider-Man costume. That's not tech. Like, it's just full-on. It looks like the comic books. Like, that's amazing they were able to do that. And now it just feels amazing. Like, the suits in this are also so really cool. We see Iron Spider, we see Peter in the black and red suit from Far From Home, and we see like this Doctor Strange like costume. And yeah, it was so cool. I just loved this movie all the way through. Like, I just love the references to the movies where all the villains are talking about what they did before while fighting Spider-Man, and then they forget because they don't know, because they've been pulled out of the timeline, I guess, during their moments before their deaths. And yeah, it was nice. Peter shows compassion towards them, even when he fought Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange didn't want him. He's just like, it's their fate. And yeah, Doctor Strange is really good in this movie. Like, I really love Benedict Cumberbatch. I think he's very likable in this movie, and same goes with him in Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness, which I will talk about one day. And yeah, and I'm not gonna end this review off without talking about Daredevil. That Daredevil cameo. We see Charlie Cox's Daredevil. I've been wanting to see this since the day at the end of No Way Far From Home. Like, I was just like, I want to see Matt Murdock, because like Peter needs a lawyer if he's framed for murder, and dang, he got a lawyer. And I just love the part where Matt like catches the rock when Mysterio protesters are throwing at Peter's house, and then he catches it, and then he's just like, I'm a really good lawyer. And Peter's just like, how'd you do that? I think it was super refreshing to see that. Now the Netflix of characters are now canon to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and we saw Kingpin in Hawkeye, and we don't know if Kingpin's alive. I don't know, but yeah, like, this movie, I can just watch it all day. Like, this is like the most fun Spider-Man movie. Now, I gotta talk about my cons. Did I have any cons? Honestly, not really. But the more I watch this movie, I kind of realize the plot is straightforward. Like, I feel like it could have been a lot more, but what else could you ask for? You got free Spider-Man. I just love the scene where they're all together and they're talking about their greatest achievements. It's even powerful when they're talking about their lowest points in their life, like the death of Uncle Ben, like how heartbroken. Like, that scene's powerful. Oh yeah, I didn't really have any issues with this movie at all. Oh yeah, I wish Tom Hardy's Venom was in this movie more. I know he was in the post-credit scene, but it would have been cool to see them have a scene. I know that's an easy nitpick, but I feel like this movie's overshadowed. But I do like how Eddie Brock finds out the whole MCU, basically. And yeah, it's suggested that Spider-Man's gonna get the black symbiote, because now some of it came off of Eddie while he was drunk. And yeah, it was a very nice post-credit scene. And I can go on all day about this movie, but I'm kind of just rambling on. I'm obviously gonna give this movie a 10 out of 10. So yeah, please tell me what you think of Spider-Man No Way Home. I really want to discuss it with others. There's so much I would want to discuss for this movie. Maybe I'll discuss it again one day and just think of a bunch of things I love about this movie. So yeah, this is it for my 2021 movie reviews. It was fun. I saw a lot more movies than I expected. So yeah, I can't wait for 2022. Now I'm gonna review all the 2022 movies I saw. So far, I've only seen Doctor Strange, The Batman, and a few others. I'm seeing the Buzz Lightyear movie tomorrow, so, yeah. So, thanks for watching, man. Thanks for watching this channel. I'm definitely gonna try to do maybe more movie reviews, but, yeah. I'll see you guys next time.